welcome to the second episode of the Streaks and Strokes guided painting session. My name is Luke and I will be your instructor for today. So for this video, we will be painting some potted pals onto your tote bags. So if you're ready, let's get started. To start, place a piece of carbon paper, followed by the printed design, onto the side of the item you want to paint on. Make sure you have a pencil to trace the drawing onto your tote bag or t-shirt. You can place some tape on the sides to prevent the papers from shifting while tracing. While tracing, avoid resting your hands on the carbon paper too much, as this might create smudges on the item which will be hard to wash off. Remember to not fully remove the papers until you have made sure that the whole drawing has been traced. Once you're done with the tracing, you can remove the carbon paper and printed drawing. If the outline isn't clear, you still can draw over the outlines with a pencil so that it can be seen when you're painting later. When you're ready to start painting, place the envelope or a piece of paper in between the shirt or tote bag so that the paint doesn't go through. For this painting, we'll be using the following colors: honey beige, ruby red, Egyptian blue, jade green, lemon yellow, ivory white, and charcoal black. We'll be using different shades of green. For example, for lime green, we'll be mixing green with yellow, and to make light or pastel green, we'll be mixing green with white. On the other hand, to get a darker shade of green, we'll be mixing our green with 1 or 2 drops of Egyptian blue. Now we can start painting. Use the bigger brush to paint the larger surfaces of your painting, and the smaller brush for the details and outlines. Spread as much paint as you can and try not to leave excess paint blobs onto the painting itself. Remember to wash your brushes each time you take a new color of paint. One tip would be to ensure you have a cup of water and some tissue beside you anytime you're painting. As you can see, I decided to paint each plant with their own shade of green. This ensures they look different from each other with their own unique colors and patterns. While you're painting a certain color, I suggest leaving the parts around it uncolored as much as possible, instead of painting extra layers on top of each other. This is to minimize the number of layers of paint, and to make sure your painting will be fully dry later. Don't worry about not painting too straight or the paint coming out of the tracing, as you're going to outline this painting later, and you can use these black lines to cover up most of these errors. I would suggest to only use the palette when you need to mix colors. So, for colors that don't need mixing, just take the paint directly from the bottle to prevent wastage of any excess paint that you don't use during your painting session. Now, let's start outlining the painting. You can use black or any other dark color to outline it, but make sure you're using a thin brush to do the outlines. Rest your arm on the table so your hand is more stable when painting, and do not take too much paint at each time. You can dip your paintbrush tip in water so that the paint is smoother, but do not take too much water as well. After painting my outlines, I felt that my cactus body was too plain, so I decided to add some dark green vertical stripes to fill up the space. Feel free to add your own patterns too. I also decided to add some reflections to the pots by adding white on one side of them. If you want to do this too, just make sure that they're all reflecting in the same direction. And now your painting is finished. Use a hairdryer to blow dry your painting, or you can leave your painting to dry until there's no more wet paint on the painting before bringing it to be ironed. Iron your t-shirt or tote bag for roughly 10 seconds to fully dry the paint on it. After that, you can use it, but only wash your item at least 4 days after ironing it. We hope you enjoyed today's guided painting session. If you have any feedback or questions, do let us know in our Facebook group. Also, feel free to post your own potted pearl tote bags and tag us on Facebook or Instagram to stand a chance to win in our monthly giveaway. See you in our next painting session.